Now, today, I think in the beginning, I want to say that on this planet, there are different religious traditions, and at different time, different location, these different traditions develop. So each tradition is suitable to the people where these traditions started. So therefore, last more than 1,000 years, some cases few thousand, some cases more than 1,000, these traditions really served humanity. And even today, millions of people get inspiration from this tradition. It is fact. And the future also, these major traditions will remain serving humanity. Occasionally, some problems happen also in the past. I think now future maybe, hopefully, now better, less is that problem because of closer sort of understanding and because of the better awareness about the value of our tradition. So, the different people, so different tradition, it suits them. Therefore, in the West, generally, they mainly Christian dominant. So Judeo-Christian background. So therefore, it is better to keep your own tradition, your own religious tradition, because it is safer and better. I often is telling some stories which I myself observed. One Polish lady, a member of Theosophy, I think from maybe early 50s or late 40s even. So 1956, Buddha Jayanti celebration, I came. Then I visited the Madras Theosophical Society there, so I met. Then after 59, that old Polish lady has become very close with Tibetan. She also, you see, helped some young Tibetan students also the education. So eventually she accepted Buddhism as her own religion. But later, then I think her age, I think beyond 80. So at the time of final days, it seems in her mind, the concept of God, Creator, seems now becoming more alive. So certainly, it creates some confusion in her mind. And then another story, one Tibetan lady, her husband, one official, Tibetan government, he passed away. Then some small children remained with her. Then some Christian missionary take care about education for their children. So then early, or mid-60, I think, mid-60, one day she came to see me and expressed to me sort of these sad stories. Then she told me, for this life, and our Christian sort of missionary is so helpful. So she also now become Christian. So for this life, she's Christian, but next life, she will be Buddhist. So this also is a very clear sign of confusion. I think in reality, neither Buddhist nor Christian. So therefore, it is much better to keep one's own tradition. So when I give some lecture on Buddhism in the West, I always make clear, because sometimes I'll feel a little hesitate. Whereas I give Buddhist lecture on to Chinese or to Tibetan or to Mongolian or Japanese or Vietnamese, these traditionally, majority of them are Buddhist. So then no problem. In fact, I get the feeling of handed over their traditional religion. Particularly when I give some Buddhist teaching to some Indian, Buddhist. I really feel something very, very touching, very moving. Like that. So I always telling or feel all these, my sort of talk, my message, different part of the world, wherever I go, all these things is in nothing except the ancient Indian thought. That's all. The message of non-violence, ahimsa. That's the Indian tradition. And all these now, last few days of talk, the treasure of Nalanda institution. So like that. Therefore, when I give some teaching or explanation to my Indian friends, and I really felt the treasure which they and generally lost through centuries in Tibet, we kept alive. This is returned to them. So I really feel something very, very happy, or sometimes very much emotion, like that. So it is important to keep one's own tradition. Meantime, you can carry some practice from other tradition, for example, from Buddhist tradition. Some of my Christian friend is practicing certain techniques or methods about compassion, about tolerance, or contentment in these fields. They use some Buddhist technique without changing religion. So that's a healthy way. That's very good. And sometimes I jokingly telling some of my Christian friends who are showing interest about emptiness, then I usually telling them, this is not your business. Not think these things. Then it may sort of harm their solid faith towards Creator, something absolute, something very strong. So from Buddhist viewpoint, this is difficult. However, many years ago in England, one Christian group, they asked me explanation on gospel to the Christian community. So that's a difficult task, isn't it? A Buddhist, from strictly speaking, non-believer, about God, about Creator. So one non-believer trying to help to promote faith of Creator. Then I try my best. They utilize some of the reasons, you see, used by those ancient Indian sort of tradition which believe Creator. So I use these methods, these sort of reasons. So afterward, many of the audience is very much sort of pleased after hearing my explanation about some passage of gospel. They really get deeper understanding about God. Yeah. And of course, all teaching tradition, the philosophical side, there's big differences. But the practical level, the same. The practice of love, kindness, and with that, forgiveness, tolerance, and also self-discipline and contentment. All these, same practice, and faith. So one my Christian friend in Australia, I think a minister, he also, very much involved helping poor people. Once, as my public talk, he introduced me at the beginning. So he described me as a good Christian. It's nice, isn't it? So sometimes I jokingly was telling him, I consider you as a good Buddhist. So there are reasons, all these common practice, sincerely practice, and dedicate well-being of others. That's the purpose. And as a result, you yourself feel fulfilled of one's own purpose of our life. Just the luxurious sort of way of life, and spend a lot of money, and meanwhile, the same planet, some people facing difficulties or even starvations. Isn't it? So, they're helping others, serving others. It's, I think, the real meaning of life. After all, God created as a social animal. So there must be some meaning. So therefore, as a social animal, the very basis of sort of survival of the community or the social animal, affection. Taking care each other, or taking sense of concern, and helping each other. Like that. So, now I want to, I want to start three questions. One occasion in India, some interfaith sort of meeting, I think one Jewish and also one Sufi practitioner is raised three questions. First question, what is self? What's I? The second question, whether there is beginning or not of the self. And third question, whether there is end or self. So 3 questions. Now in order to answer the first question, what is self? Now the real demarcation, Buddhism and non-Buddhism. Right?
Non-Buddhist.
Buddhism, Buddhist teaching, emphasis, no independent soul or independent self.
Buddhism rejects any notion of self that is independent of the physical and mental elements of the individual.
I think that's demarcation, Buddhism and non-Buddhism. All rest of the non-Buddhist tradition, within non-Buddhist tradition, the theistic, non-theistic, but all accepted soul theory, something independent self, which owned this body and mind.
Of course, when it comes to identifying what exactly is the nature of that self, even within the Buddhist tradition, there is a divergence of opinions, a diversity of positions.
Now, second question, whether this is beginning or not. In order to answer for that question, now concept of God comes. There is beginning, the God created. So according to Christianity, this very life created by God is wonderful, I think, very, very wonderful sort of what's a presentation. Concept. Because the very purpose or I think the essential of the Christianity is love, affection. So therefore, now this very life created by God, that brings strong sort of feeling of intimacy with God, like our own mother. This body gives or come from mother, a parent, particularly mother. Therefore, even animal, very close feeling. So similarly, this very life given by God. So that means we are very close towards God. The more feeling of intimacy, more willingness to listen God's sort of advice or God's wish, like that. Then non-theistic religions, including Buddhism, now law of causality. So no certain sort of creator causes condition. Actually, causes are the creator of the result. So that causes also result of previous sort of causes. So through that way, now as far as Buddhism is concerned, logically, a cause effect, that because of the logic, because of the use, then if there is beginning without cause and difficult, so every event must be because of its own causes. So the Tashamde Tayura, the Tendela Jin Suinzane, the Dua, Jumdegi, any Dieu Dijum. The Dieu Pes, Chetakiwina, Dievana, Dijum. Dikievana, Diki. Sa Nibutegi, any Yomebe James. Chilta, 그때 가서 gen시 규진시 여러 인도산에 에는 공부부터 연구하래스 여배 gen시 거법에 아니 거법에 로요 모두들 타는 중심 말이스 그래 그 질다 가서 그래 그 규진시 여러 인도산에 사지 다 니케바는 니케 세대하디 아니 미다고 있겠어. 전대기가 가서 우리 지금 대우주 영향이 견도 종견디 코레 규진 상황전인 거래스. 코라 규에도 이제인 거래스. 하다 미다고 있겠어 거야. 저들이 이르잖아요. 다 세한디 다 코라 규를 깨는 때네 다 용돼야지. 가던 리뷰처지 인신제로 고라는 교도 기능 되는 연구가 있잖아요. 교디에 랑기교 대 교슬잖아요. 교 토마샤시 말와. 교 토마샤나 교 매발게 봐. 야나 다 안데 미라고 있겠어요. 야나 딱 벌게 봐. 딱 벌 교 매발게는 에는 하상 타래. 랑근 중한데 랑가와 이버티기 교진 예배를 다 쳐. 딱배 줄이 깨버 뭐되고 다 쳐. 딱배 줄이 깨버 있나? 아니, 두 딱배 있나? 양은 저거 단도요. 양은 저거 나야 용 무슨 말이야? 사실 내 인도산에 두 매발 깨버 말이야. 딱배 줄이 깨버 말이야. 그래서 다 뒤주데 누베겐스, 겐 수버티 누베겐스. 그래서 미다고 시쟁기 두긴 대에 예바상고 연구 말했어. 레뷰 넘버 컨디션에 대 릭트브 지기다 교리견의 때네 규 넘버도 저스트면 되고 그랬어. 자, 이노 때문에 나중에 머리부여 동행 도시행이 교대 동행 되게 수시 배배 인도 동행 민주신도 동행 교주고 인도 ignorance address 어디 생각다.
So, although the discussion will come later on, say, for example, in the context of the teaching on the 12 links of dependent origination, which will come up in Lamrim Chemo in the later discussion, Tsongkhapa explains the Buddhist understanding of the origination of things, and there, citing from the Buddha's Sutra on dependent origination, he cites the statement where Buddha states that because this exists, that exists, and because this arises, this has arisen, that arises. So with these two statements, in the first statement, Buddha is pointing out that things come into being from their causes and conditions. And this is explained in terms of what is called the conditionality of absence of prior intelligence design. The idea here is that things do not come into being as a result of some intelligence, prior intelligence that designs them, and as a result they come into being, but rather they come into being from their own causes. And then the second point, a statement, when the Buddha says that because this has arisen, that arises, Buddha is making the point that there's the second conditionality, which is the conditionality of impermanence. And the idea here is that not only things originate from their causes, but the causes themselves are impermanent, and the causes themselves are products of their own corresponding causes. So in this way, when you relate the chain of causation, events come from their causes, and causes themselves, being transient, come into being as a result of their own corresponding causes, which in turn come from their own causes, and so on. So in that way, when you trace the causation from the Buddhist point of view, if you try to posit a beginning, it runs into logical problem. And because if you posit a beginning, there are two alternatives to this. The beginning, either one has to accept a notion of some kind of uncaused event. So one will have to say that that beginning point was totally uncaused. But then uncaused event becomes problematic, because the fact that particular events sometimes come into being and sometimes do not, is an indication that they are dependent upon some causation. So the notion of uncaused event is rejected. The second possibility is to say that the first event was caused by a permanent cause, an eternal permanent cause. Again here, the problem with the permanent causation is that then one will have to maintain that this cause can never produce an effect at all, or if it does produce an effect, then it should be producing the same effect continuously if it is a permanent causation. So on this basis, Buddhism rejects any notion of a beginning to the causal chain, because that beginning will have to be either uncaused or caused by a permanent entity. So, and then Buddha makes the third statement where he says that because of ignorance, volitional actions arose. And here he refers to what is called the conditionality of potentiality. And the point being made here is that it's even, not only things come into being from their causes and conditions, but also the causes and conditions are impermanent. And even here, not anything produces everything, that there should be a kind of a commensurable relationship between the causes and effects, so that the characteristics, specific characteristics of the effects are dependent upon specific characteristics and qualities of the causes. So there needs to be a relationship of commensuration between causes and conditions. So in the case of 12 links of dependent origination, the first cause in the causation chain is identified as ignorance, because as explained before, at the natural level, none of us wish for suffering, but at the same time we continue to create conditions for suffering, and that's why the root cause of our suffering is ignorance. And that's why in the 12 links of dependent origination, ignorance is identified as the first link, first member in the 12 links.
Yeah. So now, in order to answer whether it is beginning or not, the self. Now, since self is a designation on the combination of body and mind, so in order to get answer, make answer, whether this is beginning or not, so we have to find out
So then the question of whether or not there is a beginning to ourself really boils down to whether or not one can posit a beginning to the continuum of the mind and body, physical and mental aggregates, which is really the basis upon which the notion of self arises.
다 풍불이야. 저 너를 되위나 수징 풍부치. 수징 마임바 뇽삼 릭삼 풍부치.
So if we look at what we call aggregates or skandhas, physical and mental aggregates, we can summarize them in two main classes. One is a type of aggregates that has physical properties or material properties and form and so on. Then there is another class of phenomena that belong to the category of aggregates which are not physical, which are in the nature of subjective experience.
자, 지금 이르자네. 다 수진디 다시 류진 다 다시 겨울에 류진 다시리기도 와. 다 라병원도 chen. 다 차병원도 전에 내서 가가래. 자, 지금 이르자네. 다 시베강 조 시베강 something 거. 이르자네. 지당아서 풍불로 때네 다 사실 다 이르자네. 조조디 시베귤 때네 다 사실.
So now if you compare the two, the physical and the mental aggregates, when it comes to the physical aggregates, although one can talk about a very subtle level of physical aggregates, so setting that question aside, generally when we talk about the physical aggregates, we are talking about the physical body of this life. So the physical body of life, the individual changes from life to life. So therefore, the more enduring continuum that we find with respect to the individual's existence is really at the level of mental aggregate. So therefore, when we talk about the person or the self as being designated upon the continuum of the aggregates, we are talking about primarily designated the person on the basis of the continuum of the mental aggregate, the mind. So here it becomes important to contemplate whether or not consciousness has beginning, the mind has beginning.
The sugjengi chödiye pajir kore nyelingi tu zeyun samtamina da rigmanda yungurte ine da go jidan zeyun du samtamina pajir thongshara khawsharsha.
So even with respect to material objects of physical phenomena, although one can speak of different types and different kinds in the physical world, but if we were to think about their continuum in terms of the elementary material that compose their existence, then even in the case of physical entities, it would be very difficult to posit a real beginning, an absolute beginning.
But 가서 그게 더 뉴주 배나 수진기 다 뉴주 뒤에서 온다. 저 수진기 처디리 그래서 빅방 되는 충분히 쓰고 거다. 뒤들 받아. 딱고 빅방데 있다 삼스당 거로 봐. 빅방에 영향 걸어 가셔 그래. 야 삼스당 거로 봐. 또 세인들잖아. 거라 제 유니트 쉬우시다 가서 고샤한테 가오셔도.
So in fact from a current scientific understanding point of view, all of the material phenomena that exist in the world, including the physical bodies of the sentient beings that inhabit the natural world, the sources of all of these can be traced back to the beginning of the universe, which the scientific understanding is pointed towards the Big Bang, event of the Big Bang. But even here, we then have to ask, where did the Big Bang come from? Where did that event come from?
There must be tremendous sort of energy. So then the explosion will happen. So there must be the substance of that energy. So its own causes go like that. So the even physical level, I think, very difficult to accept beginning. 다 줌젠 들어가다 그 릭투머지기 둥가망가만 거기 디셰죠.
So the simple reason really is that things arise from the previous continuum and which share some relationship of continuity.
다 시베간 상담이나 그 입도 카도 매딩에 그 뇽의 등이 팬이 되봐. 다 진리게 다 시바 코로코레 릭tum베다 녀링 두치레 기고다.
So similarly now if we think about the continuity or continuum of consciousness, then we are talking about a phenomena that has no form, that has no shape, that has no color, that is in the nature of subjective experience, but that does have an effect in terms of our experience of happiness and suffering. So this is a phenomena, when we try to understand its existence, we will again, from the causal point of view, kind of attribute its existence to some kind of previous continuum that share the same characteristics.
수진기 류디 파메코자 디파마치니 유타레버치니 마용 도구도가. 더 시베 균디 런이 시베 균지 삼단마다 파메 시베 균이 온 멤버로다. 디세브도가.
So when it comes to tracing the source and earlier continuum of our physical body, then in the case of our body, we can trace it to parents' regenerative fluids. However, when it comes to tracing the the source and earlier continuum of our consciousness and mind, we cannot attribute that to the parents' mental continuum or parents' consciousness or mind.
So that shebadi gyunsu sometimes ane kor nyeling rigyun shen win gozu tongshaosun kaosha.
So in this way, if we try to trace the kind of the earlier continuum of our consciousness, particularly from the point of view of substantial cause of that phenomena, it would be very difficult to posit again a real absolute beginning to consciousness.
Zada shebe gyun tongshaoyin yana gyumili gyonde ore yana rigmutimbe gyuli gyawsta shaochta mitimbe gyuli gyawa.
Because if we were to posit an absolute beginning to our consciousness, then again we will have two choices. One is to say that the first instance of consciousness came from nowhere, so it's totally uncaused phenomena. Or we will have to admit that at that point consciousness arose from a cause that did not share the same nature, a similar kind of characteristics.
Tenen da gyawang jin degen nangbo jigo mari gyawang jin degen gi kozo tunde jitigi gyawang jibe tujijigdi gyawang ma chambado kwasta shikdo.
So, and then of course, it's not just the Buddhists who accept the notion of previous existence, previous lives, and rebirth. All of these philosophical traditions that subscribes to the notion of previous existence and rebirth, one of the key argument that is used is to cite the empirical example of individuals who recall their past lives experience.
According to my own sort of experience,
Observation.
Observation. I met some Indian girl, at least two, memory about past life, so convincing. So one case, the parent of this life and parent of immediate previous life. The previous life's parent also accepted this young girl, so convincing. So they accepted as their own girl. So one girl, I think fortunately, 4 parents. These cases, there's some clear indication of reflection of the past life there. But they cannot read letter. Some occasion, some instant, one Tibetan boy, although I never met, I was told, you can read letter. So we need further investigation. Why this same category who have very clear memory of past life, recognize their past sort of friend and recall their name and their own house and what kind of articles in their sort of house, everything very clear. And fond, the books, but cannot read. Some cases, they can even read. So what are the differences?
So I'm wondering whether one can, begin to understand these differences on the basis of some genetic dispositions.
I don't know. I really don't know. So we need this further investigation, right? Like that. So now answer from the Buddhist viewpoint, no beginning of the self. Now, the third question, whether there's end or not. Now, within Buddhism, and Yosengchik, Mesengchik, Mahaparinirvana, Taminyan de Buddha Zazabakala, and Mamishuanashiributunche, Dungchik.
So within the Buddhist tradition, there are two different positions on the third question, whether or not there is an end to the self. And there is one school of thought that maintain, or one group that maintain that when one attains the final nirvana, Mahapari, the great nirvana, at that point one has attained what is called the nirvana without residue, and at that point the very continuum of the self, of the individual, completely ceases to exist. Like a flame of a butter lamp just blowing out.
So, in order to answer these three questions, there's a different sort of the traditions and comes, or different tradition try to answer differently, like that. So then, meantime, I must say, this is some of the American or Westerner who not only showing interest in Buddhism, but also become genuine Buddhist practitioner, and also become professor, professor of Buddhism. So now I think I must say, general public much better, safer, keep one's own tradition. Out of millions of people, like Tibetan case also, the 99% are Buddhist, but some Tibetan, at least last the 4 centuries in Lhasa area, they are Muslim community. Originally, they come from Ladakh. They settle in Tibet. Then some Tibetan girls married them, then automatically become Muslim. So, no problem. And some, I think since the beginning of the previous century, 20th century, some Christians also there, very faithful Christian, although number very small. So out of, let's say, a few 100,000, out of sort of 6 million Tibetan, this is some, this is attracted more towards other tradition. So they have, like that, among millions of Europeans or Westerners, who are basically Christians of tradition, but some sort of special interest about Buddhism. In any case, some sort of desire, have some spirituality. Meantime, your own traditional sort of spirituality, not much effective. Then in such case, say, look, some other tradition, then found Buddhist way of approach. As a Buddhist way of approach is more suitable, then accept. So that's okay. In the meantime, it is important to keep genuine respect towards your traditional sort of religions. That's important, like that. Now, this is going to have shashta. Kundarmuchik sundi, Kundarmuchik midatangunalia, to Linjik Neve, Tanjandi, Tomoto Lane, Chanyenda, Tatarba Lamla, Neri, Tenchi, Gume Jandesun, Seni. Dangarans Milu, Chikazor Sambo Shibu, Stoya Yedeva, the Negata Miluch Tony Yedeva, Kabla, the Namjuk Nuba Shandamanda Yedeva, then able to utilize that chat catch more is Namju the Nishi Yeding, any utilize Simotoshi, those that Pasore. Mrs. Zawayina, Pangures. And Mrs. Zoya saying, dear, but Namching ever never is. Sure, 남식 요나버리스 어딘데 인도산에 니리니리 미지타는 데가 잘 개정을 숨겨요.
So now to return to the teaching itself of the text, at the beginning I would like to cite a stanza from Kongdang Jambayang, Kongdang Rinpoche, where and this is from his songs on evoking impermanence, awareness of impermanence, where he says that at this moment, once when I have obtained the precious human life of leisure and opportunity, there is a danger that I may lose it without having made this existence meaningful. And therefore, now the time has come for me to try to reach towards liberation. And therefore, and he admonishes himself, he's talking to himself, he says that now, therefore, I must be seized by the iron hook of impermanence awareness. So what Kungtang is pointing out here is that we need to recognize the tremendous opportunity that has been accorded to us by our attainment of human existence when we possess such resources of intelligence and all the facilities of human intelligence. Therefore, if we do not recognize this opportunity, and there is a danger that we might waste it away. And so what he's saying is that there is a real danger that we may waste it away without fully appreciating the opportunity, the precious opportunity that it provides us. Therefore, he says that by invoking the notion of the awareness of impermanence, particularly of the two important points, facts, that death is certain, but when it might befall upon us is totally unpredictable. Therefore, one can lose this precious human existence in any moment. So with the awareness of that kind of uncertainty and unpredictability of the death and certainty of death's occurrence, we must motivate ourselves and make our precious human existence meaningful.
미지 다는 데바지 니리신도 미지 다는 데바지 아래야 튼튼 튼좀 니기다 냠는데 동분이 치체 또 뒤뒤내내 전시대 하는 상도 잘하체 이렇게 해주면 되죠.
So in order to make one's human existence meaningful, the most effective method is to try to really engage in the practice of Dharma by making distinctions between the state of mind during the formal sitting meditation and the state of mind during the post-meditation periods. And so that during both of these periods, we maintain our application of mindfulness and introspective awareness or meta-awareness. And on that, through the application of these two faculties of mindfulness and awareness, we constantly observe our own mind, and in this way make our human existence meaningful.
These practices are common to all traditions. And in order to carry these sort of practice, whether we accept religion or not, up to individual. In order to become a good human being, sensible human being, not necessarily become a religious person. A non-believer or wonderful non-believer people also there. But if you accept religion, then we should be serious and sincere. So that the teaching of one's own tradition then become part of our life. So our daily life, from early morning, when we start our daily life, one corner of our mind, watching our mind, our behavior. Now, for example, one occasion in Jerusalem, one meeting with some Jews and some Palestinians and some different people. One Jew, one Israeli, a profession as a teacher. he told our meeting, once he told in his class to his student, whenever you meet, or you met, right? You met, you see some people who you don't like. Like, he told the Palestine student, when you met some Israeli checkpost or these things, usually they get some irritation. So he advised, whenever you met such people, you should think that person, image of God. Remember that. So later, the student report to him, that advice is so sort of helpful. After that, I heard that sort of advice, then their mind much calm, much easier, without much sort of irritation when they meet.
Checkpost. When they meet the guard at the checkpost.
So that's the practice. Implement it. The idea of religious sort of teaching, implement it in the practical level. So that's wonderful. So in order to carry such practice, constant watch our mind. And for that also, as soon as you get up, try to make some kind of pledge.
Determination.
Pledge.
Determination.
Determination. Now, the rest of this day, I should implement what I believe as much as I can. So that's important. And as soon as get up, we say, try to shaping our mind and reminds rest of the day, I should follow what I believe. Then end of the day, each check what happened.
Review the day.
And if you carry that the whole day according to your kind of mornings of determination, then
rejoice. And then reinforce further your motivation to continue in the same line. So, however, when you do your reviewing, and if you do discover that there were certain things that you had actually committed during the day that was contrary to your own religious values and beliefs, then at that point you should acknowledge them and cultivate a deep sense of remorse, and then reinforce your resolve not to indulge in these actions in future. And if you continue in this way, then clearly, slowly there will be a real change and transformation within your mind.
So that's the way to improve oneself. Change out of just one session prayer is impossible. Constant sort of watching reminds, and day by day, year by year, decade by decade, carry these practice, then improvement definitely comes. So that's common to all believer, all tradition, like that. Now, digital videos. Tipsum sidadi, chiringaranza, jita yongzharodi, sanjelia, gengni, zo, sanje, gengni nami cho, sanje jumdende. And shiwan de jada te, sa, kaso che, 진 송도와 다 되네 아니 가서다 초 긴뉴스 근데 지금다 초지 초 긴뉴스 다디 대상시 배시랑 두모로 봐 라랑 그 덤바디 거기는 쇼즈로 보다 한 내자도 제 최배질 도그리 적시대 봐 하나다 그래 가든을 쓴 사지면 왜 그래 봐 직벌 수도 왔어 제 한다 하는 신기 초 초지 초 건 늦을시 인구로다 다한데 산제 추 긴둥기 다 캬버 다마시 남바랑 나로래 다 뒤즈면다야래 구시 남산 되바도 면되바 다한테 되게 좋아 사면양대 텀니 아니 리보 균체체 로대야 다직셔 되게 뒤즈로 즉 다야 고불루주기 리보 주주나 배 짠도 나저 도도가 리보 균체 영식 말했어 리보 균체 셰베이나 아니 사면양대 것도 집에 강사 영식 말했어 강사 예배 링들라 풍부요래 풍부 가베제라 아니 풍부를 한번 매번 차야 되잖아 강사 걸 매번 차 그래 그래서 들이 인도잖아요 사면양대 봐 용통 말했어 니네 아니 친주로 올라이나 다른 뭐 간도 dom대 예배 인자 대랑 내버쳐야게 둘은 간도 예배 인도 그 사야되 그 주님 말에 세리상 그 리벌라 아니 디균나라 간다하게 믿어가 자 드네 인도잖아요 리버 균체 용신 말에 스티트고요 다 대성도 마세 아니 좀 된데 가서 오다 순근 잡아 되는 자식 못 나게 아니 기부 담바테 아니 자식을 고방원도 제하게 창조 소든 걸 남삼시 겁네 톱해야지 아니 시하고 주나 아니 두 총벌에 저보면 나와서 저도가 더 뒤는 미시래마도 자 드네 인도잖아요 자주로 고방원도 제가 자주 소든 걸 남자 모임배 아니 남진 제가 고방 도야게 친구를 남 뜻을 되고 그래스 자 남기 캐버지 있는 손으로가 다 남기 캐버지도 손에 다운 제우디 아니 가서 사바 셈지기 지스 나가 마세가 발라 저야 된 제하게 셈들이 깨베이나 셈 깨베 된제가 삼로디 그 가서 그래 삼루 도슈디 지들만 받는 신기다 제부디에 나가 마사가 발라 내야지 자 다들 인도잖아요 엔다 삼루야 오스탐바이나 산제지 고방 스데아디 아주 시베규 디 땡네 두부고요 봐 자 시베규 디 간려야 다 십草천삼담바이나 내가 시바사디에 거를 가서 때는 딱하지 때는 좀 하지 드리 인도잖아요 시바를 신이도 동아래 선된 춘이지 도가 다 뒤터라 다 뒤간 나학숑을 다 나학숑도 시베이나 시바 나리 시바 차라 먹고 샤네 시바 무브먼트 시대 시바 요야 누베 차르지기 달이야 에너지 세치 샤이도가 자, 다 지금 인도잖아요. 다당 안 하는 소리 예대래. 정신이 땅에 셈디, 거래 균, 거래 에너지 디념돌이야 균도 시하다. 정말 다 침배 내가 몰라. 얘네 같이 쳐그랬을라나. 다 디데네 구시사 샤이고요. 심이 춘이디 정신이 남다. 나버타바디 루브르기 쯤 자유도잖아요. 뭐니 우사샤. 춘이 되도 강라 댄세 이기 셰바디 이시 추고 사드체 대 이시 추고 가서 그게 롯 되게 더 냠돌이게 되게 그래 에너지 신사 롱스다들 다 에너지 덴데디 수직고들라 차. 자다 개회 툭 이디 개회 툭. 이디념 돌려더니 에너지디 개회 숭도 개회 꾼루. 덴데 구숭 투숭부터 가서 우리 그게 신을 차가 룸심 모예미지 모직 독재 샤샤 샤유잖아요. 텔레 샤르에 상수부터 예미지.在세바디 그 랑게 링데 무슨 내야리야 계지신 매버친 거 가서 우리 그게 70보도 남양 또 차범 것인 대기가 이르잖아요. 툭미세버 땡기고로 대대념도 영등에 숨미세버 땡기고로 대념도 꿈미세버 땡기고로 성수미세버 땡기고로 쓰셔야 돼. 도선 영등이 요소리. 자, 이제 이르잖아요. 다 자와 공부 대신이 다 디샤바 치무시도 통교야 말이네. 이네 공부 대신이 균람에 그돌이야. 두번째에 현진로 사비. 다 두번째 버릇이 남다가 있는데 현진로 루분 남다가 있는데 라스와베 아니 연대 개 송체 다 상제 사기를 먼저도 그래서 누구시 현진이 담아봐 견더서는 누가 뒤인데 상제니 신 누구시도 연대 개들대 상제샤 다 최선을 주잖아요 내자다 자와 쌈디 멤버십 대단도 봐가 14고 시에잖아요 삼미님이 담아봐 선소는 신기 다 탁선님 비천이지 그래 진화다 최지 대대비 최냐면 전에 가서 과랑고 뒤에 출근주 유리 깨된 얘기 박배 강사 소주 초스다디 어다디 아니 지드스니 나게 이시스부터 하고 있어 그래 그래 런던 시민도 가서 라메 연대다 단대니 세래 어다 된대기다 긴두 다 도스면 손으로 자 되게 인도산에 친한 게 개발 짬주지 스산에 짬도 투모원 섬 제외 있는 내주 가가래 다한테 짬도 안돼 샤마타고 넣으신 게 짬도 야오 지금다 과차대 집에 있는 배지 다가다가 자기 신경에 저지 차대하래 그래서 친한 게 개발 짬주지 봐도 다른 제 봐서는 손대야 돼 야오 섬담에 있는 짬도 야오 섬담에 있는 배지들이 냠도 주기가 소스도가 더면더
So yesterday we were talking about taking refuge in the three jewels, and generally when the object of the refuge is described in the text, Buddha is described as the supreme among the two-legged human beings, and the Dharma is described as a supreme teaching or supreme truth that is devoid of, or that's free from attachment, and that is tranquil, that is peace. And the Sangha is described as the supreme assembly. However, if we confine our understanding of the nature and characteristics of the three jewels only at that level, and that kind of characterization need not necessarily be very uniquely Buddhist, because if you look at, there is some form of taking refuge in other spiritual traditions as well, and also we can apply these qualities to the object of refuge in other spiritual traditions as well. For example, almost, maybe all the other spiritual traditions would see their own teacher, original teacher, as being supreme among the two-legged human beings, and they will all acknowledge that their dharma, their own spiritual teaching, represents truth that is free of, that is tranquil, peaceful, and that is free of attachment. And similarly, they will also have a notion of community, because if it is a spiritual tradition, there will also be a notion of a community. So in that sense, understanding the nature and characteristics of the three jewels only on that level doesn't really make one's understanding very deep. And also, if that is the case, then it becomes very difficult to maintain the position that it is the taking and going for refuge in the three jewels that define someone as a practicing Buddhist. So now how do we understand this? And here, a deeper understanding of what is the nature of the Buddha, what is the nature of Dharma that we seek to cultivate within us, what is the nature of the Buddha that we go for refuge to, and what is the nature of the Sangha that we perceive to be the supreme community here. So, so with respect to the Buddha, as explained before, of course, within the Buddhist tradition, there is a divergence of opinion. As explained before, some schools maintain that when the Buddha attained final parinirvana, nirvana without residue, the entire continuity of the Buddha's existence came to an end. However, there is also another opinion on this, which is the understanding of Buddhahood in terms of the theory of the four kayas, the four embodiments of Buddhahood. And in this case, the idea of an absolute end to the continuity of the Buddha's existence is rejected. For example, in Nagarjuna's writing, particularly in the 60 stanzas, Nagarjuna presents a very explicit argument against the idea that the final parinirvana of Buddhahood, Buddha constituted the absolute end of the Buddha's existence. And Nagarjuna here says that if that is the case, then the whole concept of someone attaining, the whole notion of someone attaining the nirvana without residue becomes incoherent. Because when the person is alive, the nirvana without residue is not present. And when the nirvana without residue is attained, the person is no longer there. So someone attaining, the idea of someone attaining the nirvana without residue just doesn't make any sense if the individual, the continuity of the existence of the individual comes to an absolute end. And furthermore, the point he raises is that if you look at the various mental states, it is understandable that those mental states that are distorted, that are grounded in a false way of understanding the world and false way of perceiving the world, since these distorted mental states have powerful antidotes that can bring these distortions to an end. So these distorted mental states will have an end. However, so far as the essential quality of mind itself is concerned, mind as this mere luminosity and knowing, there is no forces or there is no reason why the continuity of this would not carry on. And there is no force that undermines the continued existence of the essential quality of the mind itself. And furthermore, from the highest yoga tantric point of view, when we understand consciousness at a very subtle level, we understand consciousness as having a dual characteristics. One is the knowing aspect of it. The other one is the kind of the moving aspect of it, which we can call energy. So, and this energy and the knowing aspect of consciousness, they are in inseparable unity. And so on that basis, the continuity of consciousness at this very subtle level, together with this energy, will continue to exist. And in fact, when and another point Nagarjuna raises is that so in terms of the continuity of this subtle consciousness and the energy that is part of its unity, then one can understand when the individual gains full enlightenment, the consciousness itself being dependently arisen, it is its essential nature is emptiness. And this essential nature of emptiness is the ultimate nature of the mind. And so when the individual attains Buddhahood, this essential nature of mind, this emptiness of mind, evolves into the natural embodiment of the Buddha, natural body of the Buddha, Svabhavakaya. And so at that point, although the mind is, by nature unpolluted, but it is tainted by adventitious pollutants and stains. So when one attains Buddhahood, the adventitious pollutants are removed. So at that point, the natural purity of the mind becomes accompanied by a purity that has been attained through a cultivation of the path. So at that point, the emptiness of the mind, the nature of the mind of the individual becomes a natural embodiment of the Buddha, Sarvabhavakaya, and the consciousness itself becomes the wisdom and Dharmakaya, and the energy that is accompanied by that wisdom mind becomes the form embodiment of the Buddha's Rupakaya. And within the Rupakaya, you can also have the speech and the physical body of the Buddha as well. So in that sense, from this point of view, one understands that when we talk about the Buddhahood, it is a state where body, speech, and mind, all three of them have become a totally inseparable, a single unity. And in this way, the Buddhas at the state of Buddhahood, because they are all expressions of this single unity of subtle mind and energy. So the Buddha's body, speech, and mind becomes a single unity. And then also, Nagarjuna explains that given that there is such a tremendous differences between the Arhats and the Buddhahood, therefore it is untenable to maintain that as far as the path is concerned, the entirety of the path of Buddhahood is exhausted by the practices of the 37 aspects of the path to enlightenment. And the only difference between the Arhat and the Buddhahood is a matter of function of time difference. Nagarjuna rejects that notion and says that because there is a tremendous differences between the two levels of fruition, of attainment of Arhat and attainment of Buddhahood, therefore there must be differences in the actual path that leads to these two fruitions. So therefore, in addition to the path of the 37 aspect of the path to enlightenment, the path to Buddhahood must also include the six perfections, the practices of the six perfections, and so on. And also the attainment of Buddhahood is fundamentally motivated by an altruistic intention to bring about the welfare of infinite number of sentient beings as long as space remains, or until the furthest reaches of the space. When the Buddhahood is attained, the Buddha cannot cease to exist, because just as the motivation projects that kind of time frame, the Buddhas continue to exist to bring about the fulfillment of their aspiration to be of benefit to countless numbers of sentient beings until the end of space. So if you understand the Buddha in this manner, then there is a difference in your understanding of the Buddha as the object of refuge. And similarly, and therefore, in Uttara Tantra, the Sublime Continuum, Maitreya identifies 8 main qualities of Buddhahood. And similarly, when he identifies the key qualities of the Dharma, he does not characterize Dharma purely as a freedom from attachment, but he characterizes Dharma as being beyond concept, beyond thought, beyond verbalizations, and so on. So again, he lists different qualities there. And similarly, he explains Sangha as a community of practitioners who embody this Dharma with such characteristics. So when you have that kind of understanding of the nature of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, and when you seek refuge in those 3 objects of refuge, then going for refuge has a very different quality about it. And in this sense, not only it's the act of going for refuge, the 3 jewels, but also that act is accompanied by acceptance of what is called the 4 fundamental seals of Buddha Dharma. So in that sense, then the philosophical approach to kind of, the becoming a Buddhist from the point of view of philosophical view and the act of going for refuge then converge together.
Yeah. Under the that you will drink the Denshida, the Kasushuchata, Jandu Mogashe.
So we're now in the second part of the main section of the Lamrim Chemo, which is the stages of the path relevant to the practitioners of a person of intermediate capacity or medium capacity. And the main practices, teachings here are the Four Noble Truths. And so these have been explained yesterday, so we're not going to repeat them.
That is the subject area. Kasa. Ore, labri tudung sidi. Then is on the wa. Dutin nimi samla mabena tarba tönye chishin bikishin. Another answer that language shawan chenki. Any kiawandi, give in some tendana. Sajak saw Davalia, Davaris, the Munzinje, the give in some tendana, Tava talk ask him do. Rather, so the thing is done, to me she who is at it. To the name is on a mabana, Tabatuni Chishin. That Tabatuni logic, to me the Tando lodge from in any the Malam Jun to me high Amare. That could to me duty, mouse of who you are. The name is done, Gunjung Korean Jurim Masama, Koreazawa Juzum Mischievous. See the Ninjung, Dosha, Damatang, call Kangajim Shivers Jays. That this one. So that the Dodin Korean Yimisama, the Gunju Korean Jurim Sama said this one.
So here, to give a broad outline, we can cite from Tsongkhapa's Songs of Spiritual Experience, a Lamrim in verse, where he writes the following. He says that if one does not strive in the contemplation of the faults of the truth of suffering, then the genuine aspiration to seek liberation will not arise in one. And this is true because, for example, if we happen to believe that the existence in samsara is not a big problem and that it is actually quite joyful and so on, then the genuine wish to seek freedom out of it simply wouldn't arise. So therefore Tsongkhapa explains that without striving to contemplate the faults of the truth of suffering, the genuine aspiration to attain liberation will not arise. Similarly, if one does not contemplate upon the process by which one revolves in cyclic existence on the basis of the origins of suffering, then one will fail to have the knowledge of how to sever the root of cyclic existence. And therefore, what Tsongkhapa is saying here is that even if you have recognized that the nature of suffering, if you do not contemplate upon the origins that lead to the suffering, then simply making a wish, some kind of prayer, is not going to do the task. So therefore, Tsongkhapa says that one must therefore cultivate a sense of disenchantment towards cyclic existence and recognize what are the factors that bind us in samsara, in cyclic existence.
Yeah. That dunge samba la dunge gya samba, dunge tru samba, dunge sun samba. That na dunge gya samba gyabati.
So
dona nyawa le kumunga dunge sa tishloda.
So now, on the question of contemplation on the nature of suffering, in Lamrim Chemo, Tsongkhapa provides three broad sections. The first one contemplating upon the 8 types of suffering. The next one on 6 types of suffering, and then the third one on further meditations on suffering. So we will read from the 8th of the first 8 types of suffering. So this is on page.
두고 더 쳐요 동에 대변 거 짜냐면 입에 동에 얘는 너는 영을 후보가 동에 왔어야 돼. 페이지 그래. 동에 계산해. 다 계획 동에 가요 동에 나요 동에 이름아 치. 내가 짜냐면 입에 동에
It's on page 279, yeah. 279 of the English translation.
뒤도 너는 영어를 후문가 동에 예수님의 전산바야 나데스. 뭔가 주베 동에 주너도 뭔가 주보를 때문에 동에 주너도 동에 주너도 교회 동에 주너도 동에 전신도 줄바때 대달아야 해서 다 달라 당고니 낼린지 풍부데 랑발다 때네 깨와 침모 편지기 동에는 담보 뭔가 주베 동에 주너 스터지 녀를 풍부디 랑 친제라 코라 녀를 레버 레닌지 왕그 주저샤 그래서 코를 류들이야 레닌지 냉에 지수되는 게지 냉에 지수되시잖아요 코라 가서 그게 간다 레닌지 왕게 깨되어진다잖아요 코라 뒤tumbe 쳐시다 그 지금 레닌게야리야 그 파도시 ramdir 또 시기였다 그래서 이제잖아요 냉에 지수되는 여배 인도잖아요 뭔가 마음발로 동에 영향이 아니 건너치레스 뭔가 주벌 때문에 동네 시르잖아요 그래서 니바 풍부 주 심벌 때네 아니 계획 동네 가외 동네 나외 동네 따지기 따라 신대의 동네들이 풍부 뒤에 낀 게 동네 무도와 나모한다 별이야 군도 공매 걸리 안다 소포 여서도지라 차벽 자요래 전에 쉬고 뒤춤부터 간다야 공 네버를 좀 파오다 제 네버가 그들 여서도지라 뒤숭구도스 관한도스 공부를 시작했다 뭐지 좀 말어 인거로 봐 쉬고대 그런 그 풍부대도 쉬운 년년이 풍부 되게 제발에 세상도 사 어떤 말보다 아주 저번에 내가 카차 나래 즉 가르전에 지금 뜻을 말해 용대하게 싸워야 토요인데 레닌이 샤와진 풍부되지는 대외 있잖아요 라마 들으시자도 또 동네 싸다 지금 하시는 거예요 또 드리인데 니번이 풍부 주 심벌 때문에 나가는 속에 땡도 주고 오스 다 숨버도 시번이 동인이부 대냉에 제손 대회 뒤니 깨보고 대 동해주 너다 교회 동해주 너스 다 동해문 교와 다가는 신기 사세다 동해주소다 초 동해 다가는 신기 초 대와 교회 동해 다 뒤지기 냉에 제손 대회 뒤니 깨봐 나반니 년년이 풍부 좁잡기 누지기 동해주 정신도 깨대스 디주지데 레드 뇽몽방 남의 신기 왕도 주베 누지 탐제 누지기도 메인베 치로 어디 송샤
So here we will read from Tsongkhapa's text. It's on page 279 and the first para, where he writes the following. The Buddha said, in brief, the 5 appropriated aggregates are suffering. Reflection upon the meaning of this teaching again takes in 5 points. It is the nature of the 5 aggregates appropriated by karma and the afflictions to be vessels for future suffering, vessels for suffering based on what presently exists, vessels for the suffering of pain, vessels for the suffering of change, and vessels for the suffering of conditionality. And reflect on these again and again. Here, with regard to the first point, you induce suffering in future lives by taking out these appropriate aggregates. So the point Tsongkhapa is making here by commenting upon these 5 aspects is that the first one, with relation to the first one, he's explaining that the fact that our aggregates have come into being conditioned by karma and afflictions, they have a characteristic and nature that is very close to the kind of the forces of karma and afflictions. Therefore, one can see that they are much more conducive to further aggravation of karma and afflictions. Therefore, they are very receptive to suffering. And
biological factors.
So here, we can understand even in biological terms. And this, in fact, reminds me of a story. There was a Mongolian scholar, very learned scholar in Tibet during the 13th Dalai Lama's time, and he happened to be involved in something which led to him being reprimanded. So was kind of slightly disgraced, and he was at that point feeling really sorry for himself. And it is said that he then touched his own body and said, well, all of this pain and all of this misery, it becomes possible because I happen to have this karmically conditioned, appropriate body. So, and similarly, if you look at all the problems in the world, whether it is societal or individual, all the problems exist because, from the Buddhist point of view, we happen to possess an existence that is karmically conditioned and conditioned by afflictions, and we have the basis for all these sufferings to arise. So, and then Tsongkhapa writes, as for the second, the appropriate aggregates form the basis for states such as illness and old age that are grounded in the already existing aggregates. The third and the fourth both come about because the aggregates are linked with dysfunctional tendencies towards these 2 types of suffering, referring to the evident suffering and suffering of change. And as regards the fifth, the very existence of the aggregates constitutes the nature of the suffering of conditionality. Then he gives the reason why this is so. He says that because all of the compositional factors all of the motivational factors which depend on previous karma and afflictions are the sufferings of conditioning. And then basically that final point deals with the fact of suffering at the third level, the suffering of conditioning.
That did to me some samba said that should Dinema to me true samba said. That to me true samba jig to me some samba said.
So then we will move on to the next one is 6 types of suffering, but we will move on to the next one after that, which is the contemplation on the 3 types of suffering.
That the pedma suni tungi sata di songlo shenshim che. That the should de Kasmare, Yanti, the Gisaneda Guetunesiati. Koba Namju saw Devades, Namjuga to saw Devazidiat. Saw Devazidia and Dini, Nam Shiva Nayang, Tunge gave Guetunelos. Nine. Teacher meta le tunge sen sung de adi meta wa indu zane geji gi dum ro ya thi bare geji gurya di ran geji gi jibo geji gi du shen shi le de me go ba rang ni ge bre che be du ni gi jigwe dangni tu geyin go yore. Sa ta chirama logi tsini kiso shisin sede jikche. Nodeba yenjegi 그 깨지기 지야디 다 균진 지고 차샤는다 양 균진 미다 다 라고 미다와 균진 지고 대한 거 루부이야 개진 태네 연구를 봐그 깨지기 지야디 그 깨지기 균니기 개버래 근데 인도 깨지기 지고 더니기 쇼이는 뒤 상황적인 게 켜다 저 뒤 상황적인도 전에 딱 금들 년龄이 풍부 깨지기 지고 더니 정기 년齡이 풍부디 규이 상황적인 인도 두 가려서는 두 머리 버려서다. 단대나 중이게 담고 다 머리 벗어야 돼. 자다 머리 벗을 전에 다 잠시 쉬지도 가다. 잠시 뒤 상황적인 깨와시는 아니 로트고 찾으면 돼. 동네에도 쉬지도 와. 어디 데려셔. 지침이다 내 동네是送돼야 돼. 쉬지래셔.
So in the third on the contemplation on the three types of suffering, which is on page 289, Tsongkhapa writes, first talking about the suffering of change, he writes the following: pleasant feelings experienced by beings in a cyclic existence are like the pleasure felt when cool water is applied to an inflamed boil or carbon coal. As the temporary feeling fades, the pain reasserts itself. So that's one, the reason why even what we conventionally identify as pleasurable experiences are recognized to be ultimately in the nature of suffering. And another consideration is here, as Dharmakirti points out in his Pramanavartika exposition of valid cognition, where he writes the following line. He said that therefore, from on the basis of impermanence, one must recognize our existence to be that of suffering. And what the point he's making here is that given that our existence is transient and impermanence, then anything that is impermanent is subject to change, and that not only subject to change, but subject to change on a moment-by-moment basis. And this nature of being susceptible to change on a moment-by-moment basis is really not created by some other third condition, but rather the very causes and conditions that brought the phenomena into being, also brought that phenomenon into being equipped with that transient nature. So although the Vaibhashikas, when they explain impermanence, they explain in terms of the continued existence of something. So they speak of what is known as the four characteristics of a conditioned phenomena, which includes arising, abiding, enduring, and decay, and then cessation. All the other Buddhist schools, including Sautrantika, they understand impermanence in terms of the moment-by-moment existence, this momentariness. And this momentary nature of phenomena is not contingent upon a phenomena coming into contact with a third factor. Rather, the very cause that brought the phenomena into being also brought that phenomena into being with this nature of transitoriness, this nature of momentariness. And therefore, anything that has that kind of character, that nature, by its very nature, demonstrates to be dependent upon causes and conditions. And therefore, any transient phenomena are governed by their causes and conditions. They are under the power of causes and conditions. Now, here, particularly in the context of our conditioned existence, then the question is, what are the causes and conditions under whose power our existence is governed? Then here the causes and conditions are karma and the afflictions. And when we talk about particularly the afflictions, and then from the point of view of teaching of the 12 links of dependent origination, then the first in the chain is fundamental ignorance. So even the very term ignorance or marikpa, avidya, suggests something inauspicious because it is an ignorant state of being, and therefore a cause that is a fundamental cause that is inauspicious. Its result or its consequence is bound to be inauspicious as well. So possessing such a conditioned existence caused by such inauspicious existence, inauspicious cause, there is, if you think carefully, there's really no basis for having any sense of satisfaction in that kind of existence.
다들 디슈데 레퍼팅 다 소동에 디슈데 소동에서 동의동에서 다들 레퍼팅이가 더 맞춰বে 되기 제 차도는 사과도 제가 초 당용데 내년에 제순데 누지기 동네로 자 다들 랭귀지 상황전 인신절라 다 동해랑 시리스니 다 초숨부터 그다 초숨부터다 충전기 셈셈 중디시 다가는 신기 원부디시 대다 대계약이 미긴디시 디르 상월로 동해 계약이 너베여대 인도산에 디기다데 디도와 가서 저기 소한테 권한 뭐 인지 대도 충분되면 심중 신남다 강는 민의 계획 유 사제 남장 교회 동네로 선택이 따로 송도와 간다 소한테도 충분히 심중래 다가는 신기 대 원고래 다가는 신기 미긴디들 대 참월로 딱 동네 계약이 두치는 시다 차에 있잖아요 동네 현실이 있다 있고요.
So in explaining the suffering of suffering of conditionality, Tsongkhapa writes the following. He says that this is on page 290, second para. Contaminated neutral feelings are like an inflamed boil which is in contact with neither soothing nor irritating substances. So he is carrying on the same metaphor that he used earlier. Because these feelings coexist with dysfunctional tendencies, they constitute the suffering of conditionality, which, as explained above, does not refer to the feelings alone. Insofar as, and then earlier Tsongkhapa explained that it's not just the feeling, but also all the mental states, mind and mental factors that are concomitant, that are together with the feeling, that also belongs to the category of suffering. So he writes that this is called the suffering of change and includes not only the feeling itself, but also the main mind and other mental processes or mind and mental processes that are similar to it, as well as the contaminated objects which, when perceived, give rise to the feeling. So in other words, Tsongkhapa identifies not only the three types of feelings, pleasurable, painful, and neutral feelings, but also all the various mental states that are concomitant with that experience of a feeling, and including the sensory faculties that are involved in that experience, as well as the objective condition that give rise to the afflictions. All of these, since they are all have the potential to engender suffering, they are all perceived to be belonging to the class of suffering.
자상 최기 dom시는 게 누제 탐제 미다과 삭제 탐제 도명 서도서.
So therefore, in the statement on the four seals of Buddha Dharma, the first statement is that all conditioned phenomena are impermanent or transient, and the second is that all contaminated phenomena are in the nature of suffering. So this is the point Tsongkhapa is making.
다디 슈구야한데 가사디 차게니부디 최선저 동신 다음에 봐 양하는데 쉬워 사디기 다오는 동에 탐이지 다 다가를 왜서 다위나 아니야 지금 섬심이 할 수도 와 나디 말이지 가서 동네에 자와 다도 집어도 치기야래스. 다도 집어도 치지로 올라래스. 가래서나 등업에 내서라 아니 동시 다음에 버려스. 다 동시 다음에 배양 지루디야 다오타라 유인선 또 맨다도 등물이 지용데 동시 다음에 버려. 근데 인도산에 동네에 자와 치는 게 다도 집어도 치지로 올라래. 달라냐 못 dom대야래스. 다오는 년부터 엄된 견다 여바점 지그래 견다 디기 디바 세트야지 알베스라나 디세투그리스 고치로 올로리 디세투그리 디세네 탑저디 냥하는 데베 고만 토토그리스 자자가 냥하는 데바사야디 땡도 쉬워레스 야고도
So if you look at the statements of the four fundamental seals of Buddha Dharma, after having explained that all conditioned phenomena are impermanent and all contaminated phenomena are in the nature of suffering, then Buddha does not stop there, because otherwise it can just result in further depression and a feeling of discouragement. However, then the question is raised that is suffering that we are concerned about here, is it endless, or is there a possibility of an end to it? So here, the third seal becomes very important. Here the Buddha states that all phenomena are empty and devoid of selfhood. And of course, there are different ways in which, depending upon the philosophical understanding of the Buddhist schools, the teaching on no self is explained differently. But generally, all Buddhist schools accept that it is the grasping at self-existence or selfhood that lies at the root of our suffering, and that lies at the root of our distortion. And furthermore, this grasping at self-existence can be demonstrated to be a distorted form of perceiving and experiencing the world, and that is not in consonant with the reality. And so therefore, there is a powerful antidote that exists which can be cultivated. And it's not only there is a powerful antidote, but also this powerful antidote, when applied, can eliminate and eradicate this grasping at self. Therefore, he makes the fourth statement, which is nirvana is true peace. And by applying the powerful antidote against the root of suffering, which is the grasping at self, and one can cultivate insight into the nature of reality, which then leads to attainment of nirvana, which is true peace. So when you correlate these four seals and understand them in an integrated manner, then of course the teaching becomes very beautiful.
Yeah. Dishudaga dishudaga. Dini lada nyumu bangame shawando gyujin. 다시우다그래. ngame shawando gyujin. 동네도 nyumu ba chimanam 제 사비 제순 되잖아. 군도 저에 냉내는데 먹었어. 군도 좋아서야지. 뒤 내가 왜 동네와. 데뷔 내가리 동네와. dunje 군도 ene 동네에 당시 했었지. 니서 다 쇼다래. 안더디 두지 동네 수비 쇼대. 두지 동네 순순이 두지 동네 쇼다. 니는 소화지구를 미쳐와니 나르다로세. 니서 니니 레드 용어 뭔가면 샤원도 규칙.
So in this context, Tsongkhapa writes the following, where he says that insofar as the suffering of conditionality is affected by previous karma, as well as the afflictions, and coexists with seeds that will produce future suffering and affliction, it coexists with persistent dysfunctional tendencies.
다디 군데 내고 군도 좋아서야 돼. 한도 좀 된데 가오민주군도 샴데 가오민주군도 롱도가 또 뭐셔직스 파단체 니소에 가오민주군도 롱처번 이장나샤 다들 가오게도 주고래 가오 센다 중가오로 손이 중가오 저 시주는데 그런 검지체 말에 중가오리야 차과다 누구다 정화다 녀에 저놈 다장 소소소소 동료 이거 자디 삼덴베 저런 대다가 시 땅나 개디 차괴 님은 나월 체시 정을 미지 누구를 미지 녀를 미지나 대지 차과대로 동네 코너 소소녀 유신 차관이다 주관이다 미세원이다 이름이 소소녀 유지 차과대로 대외 동네 대외 누신 중원에 민주로 센다 저런 센다를送你 타마데 domde 가오 다 규진지다 주원나야 동현데 코너 중라스 가와나야 동현 코너 가 주원나야 두지 다니 중라 가와나야 두지 다니 가고 세네 다간다 규인네 거리니 두지 그런시 두지 그 동네 데빈네 거리 두지 그 동네 어다 지시 머리가 마세봐도 대샹왕기 깨워지 인신절라 다 동네가 그런시 있다지 송도
So then Tsongkhapa goes on to explain why the suffering of conditionality is so pervasive, and in that context explaining how the pervasive nature of this degree of this level of suffering. He provides two citations from Sutra, Descent into the Womb of, known as the Descent into the Womb. And here, this is on page 291, and in the citation, the Buddha states the following: Nanda, referring to Buddha's own brother, the physical activities of walking, sitting, standing, or lying down must each be understood as suffering. If meditators analyze the nature of these physical activities, they will see that if they spend the day walking and do not rest, sit down, or lie down, they will experience walking exclusively as suffering and will experience intense, sharp, unbearable, and unpleasant feelings. The notion that walking is pleasant will not arise. And then in the next citation, then towards the end, there is a conclusion when Buddha states that Nanda, when this contaminated feeling of pleasure arises, it is only suffering that is arising. When it ends, it is only this nature of suffering that ends. When it arises yet again, it is only conditionality that arises. When it ends, it is only conditionality that ends. So in other words, the suffering of conditioning pervades every aspect of our existence, and that's what's being pointed out.
Oh yeah. So now that is the that's when they do me shiver cha since soon go out. That is sound down about the
So therefore, in order to really follow the Buddha's advice that we must recognize the truth of suffering, so unless we contemplate on these explanations of suffering, we will not be able to put that into practice.
That did it. That do me shiver cha said the dipse. That Gunjung Power cha said soon there. That Gunjung did it. That never Gunjung Koyan Jurun Samara sum.
So now, having covered the first, statement of the Buddha that we must recognize the truth of suffering, the next one is we must abandon the origin of suffering. So here, Tsongkhapa explained this in the following outlines.
Never Gunjung Koyan, Gunjung Koyan Koyan Jurun Samara sum.
So here Tsongkhapa explains this section in three broad outlines, which is the main outline is reflection on the process of cyclic existence in terms of its origin, which is explained in three broad outlines, these being how the afflictions arise, how you thereby accumulate karma, and how you die and are reborn.
당연히 너무 명성을 때리가 파고 토미기 근데 뭐 고마사나 근데래 최강 중원은 저도 뭐 시외 신이도 중대 대중의 심지 교류도 뭐시원 중한테 영웅의 천이도 시송과 따라 강계바나 심지 저도 뭐시월 지워서 전당 안으로 현지 정신으로도 수여가 그돌이야 로 컨디션 제용도 엔터기 심파 직때 별로 지게 되버지 추등이지 하다 디송이야 따이네 요모 차라 먹고 싶다 샤는 거 봐. 주산다. 난 너는 아니 난 뭐이 상도 치면 나 되는 거래. 산제베 좀 더 마에 나라. 人心的也不毛啊，人心的没毛啊，你去。 다들로는 당연 우모버트 계시 매비체다 다 우모베 체가 다른 시여 마야나 주어라 다 도무로고 정신 예방마 정신이 매방마 니체니 다 정신이 예방마 디디기 뉴몬 조수 패지지 거래 다 정신이 매방마에 루기 뉴몬 참으지 남샤 샤인 거야 자 덴진 참으 샤인 거야 덴진 참으 샤인데 덴지 참고 되던 데는 차당 참으지 해야지. 차당 처음에 용무신다 참으지 해야지. 그래서 리즈산에 용무 차라지 내용도 와. 근데 배 개심 버리셔. 상무 쉬고 당 거시죠. 저리. 그래서 리즈산에 안 되디 뭐 근준의 송셰에 용무기 체니 돼. 야다 투문기 용무들 쓰고 이나 아니 뭐 탐절 따야 뭐시로 될래야 차라 연구를 보다. 그봐. 덴지 참여 장배 차당 참무대에 그냥 코로코라야 뭐 쉬워지 연구를 받아. 다 도시 않은 상황을 켜토도 와.
So the first one is identifying the nature of the afflictions, and here Tsongkhapa cites from Asanga's Abhidhamma Samuccaya convention.
나 저리 좀 보래. 라와메 봐. 뭐 쉬웠으라고이나. 다시에는 닝지로로 숙처부시게 있는 뭐시고 패지셔도 와. 네 당도라는 지가 봐. 로 짱네. 녀한테는 아니 주민이 녀한테는 뭐시고 제일 뭐. 딘데서 가가지고 야. 라와메 봐. 로도 뭐시고스라고이나. 또 서비스도 민다. 당에 처줄다. 처줄. 그것이 오스트레일리아 계시잖아요. and 처줄 당보스. 양이 왜 처줄 니보스. 다른 수보스도 처줄 수보스 이거 그것이 더 되게 줄래. 처줄 당군이 뭐 수보시 그것이 아. 들이도 처줄 당군이다.
So in explaining the nature of the afflictions, Tsongkhapa cites from Asanga's Abhidhamma Samuccaya, compendium of knowledge, where Asanga writes the following. He says that an affliction is defined, so this is on page 298, last para. An affliction is defined as a phenomenon that when it arises is disturbing in character and that through arising disturbs the mind stream. So the point Asanga is making here is that if you compare your own state of mind to its kind of natural state of equilibrium, and then when a certain state of mind or thoughts or emotion arises in you, and that has a tendency to immediately kind of dislodge that equilibrium and disturb it, and that's the kind of idea Asanga is getting at. So afflictions are those mental states, thoughts and emotions, when the moment they arise, they have this tendency to bring about a disturbance within one's mental equilibrium of the mind. And of course, when we talk about the nature of afflictions, we also need to know that there are various levels of subtlety in the afflictions themselves. In fact, within the Buddhist schools, Buddhist tradition, one can broadly characterize two classes. One group of Buddhist schools that on the whole accept some notion of intrinsic nature, some notion of inherent existence. And then there's another group which is principally a Prasangika, Madhyamaka, which reject even the notion of inherent existence. And so the first group of Buddhist schools have a broader consensus on understanding the nature of afflictions. However, in the Prasangika Madhyamaka school that rejects the notion of inherent existence, given that they have a much more subtle way of understanding what constitutes a form of grasping at true existence, therefore associated with that level of subtle grasping at true existence, there are also a way of understanding various classes of afflictions such as attachment, aversion, and delusions, and so on. However, maybe the Asanga's definition of affliction provided here, maybe we can say this has to be understood at a very broad level, or we can define what he means by causing this disequilibrium, causing this disturbance within the mind. We can understand that corresponding to different levels. So in any case, this is my own guess, supposition. In fact, recently when I was giving teaching in Australia, where Geshe Dorji Damdula was translating, I ended up making a series of these lists of my own guesses and supposition. So in fact, I numbered them. This is my first guess, this is my second guessing, and third guessing, and so on. So here, this would be one of my first guesses.
슈데 지스동라 저런 시간다. 슈데 뇽모 따왕한테 때민한테 셰살에 순살에 슈데 뇽모 주부터다니 근데 뛰다. 난저집에 사단 풍풍에 잡지기 샤바를 용하더 샤바 오슬도 투모모인 왜 뇽모 남샤지 거의 예버지 띵도 하디.
So, in fact, if you read on page 300, the third paragraph, Tsongkhapa writes that I have explained these 10 afflictions in accordance with the compendium of knowledge and levels of yogic deeds, Sharvaga Bhumi, and with Vasubandhu's explanation of the 5 aggregates. One can read this to suggest that Tsongkhapa accepts that there may be a different way of understanding the nature of afflictions in a subtle way. Sorry, so with relation to this, one of the aspects of the definition of affliction that Asanga gave, which was creating this sense of disturbance and dislodging the equilibrium, maybe we need to add a caveat here, which is, causing this disturbance and dislodging the equilibrium without any control on our part may be important, because, for example, when a practitioner cultivates compassion and when the compassion becomes strong as a result of the experience of compassion, sharing in someone's pain, there is an element of disturbance within the person, but that kind of disturbance does not arise without any control on one's part. In fact, there is a voluntary dimension to this, because one chose to share in others' suffering and actually cultivate that compassion for the other.
There's two kinds of emotion. One emotion, although some cases is some reason, but basically spontaneous. So that category of emotion, usually, most cases, negative. By nature. Then another category of emotion, through reasoning, through training. So these emotions, with reason or through training, these are usually positive, like that. So, full stop, lunch.